Hey y'all, it's Yolanda. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully your Tuesday is off to a great start. I wanted to jump back over here because I have a package from Amazon and silly me didn't even confirm that it's what I think is in there, because if you're like me, Amazon is just kind of always showing up. It's so easy, right? Like that convenience is just so marvelous. So anyway, I've been upstairs, been working today, but I just taken a break and wanted to pop over and one, open up this box, and two, it wasn't yesterday, but maybe the day before, I started talking about water and just the importance of our water being clean and pure, and how we might not necessarily be getting clean, pure water, certainly not from our taps. And I had gone as far as, because this is just like the next rabbit hole that I'm going down in my own health and fitness journey, ditching the plastic, so buying your water in glass, like something like this, versus it being in plastic, because plastic can leach. Ralphie's going upstairs, so he's just want to make sure he makes it up there. Good Bubba. I hate when he goes up the stairs, so whatever. So anyway, so plastic can leach, so we want to ditch the plastic water. You don't want to buy any of those waters that are like electrolyte infused or anything like that. It's really not important. Definitely not getting water out the tap. And just so that you guys know, I kind of looked into this, and this is spring water, and spring water is not like necessarily any better either, because it doesn't filter out. This is what I read. That the minerals, like the inorganic minerals, are not necessarily filtered out, and those can deposit into our bones and into our joints. And I like just follow people on Instagram that educate me and inspire me, and then I come over and I share it with you guys. So if any of these tips that I am giving you are super helpful, just let me know. On Instagram, I made kind of like just my own intention that I'm showing up every single morning to share my daily gratitude with my friends on the gram, and then also sharing with them just whatever I'm learning from the book that I'm reading. And the reason I'm doing that is just because it honestly keeps me accountable, guys. Like, when you tell other people you're gonna do stuff, you have to go and do it. Tomorrow I have a miniature dental procedure. I am going under anesthesia for that, so kind of nervous and just trying to like get my like ducks in a row before that tomorrow. So let's open this box. I'm hoping that I haven't wasted your time by practicing this, and it is what I think it is in here. I think it is what I think it is. I'm gonna be real pissed if it's just a bunch of envelopes, I'll tell you. Because, you know, you guys should see, I have so many envelopes to send out this week. Okay, cool. It is what I get. So, it is a bunch of envelopes for my friends. They're getting these little packages, all my clients. There's a lot of you guys, and I'm doing my best just in case like you start seeing girls show up with these envelopes and you're like, where is mine? Just know that like it's coming. Just bear with me because there's one in me. But anyway, I bought this thing called a TDS meter. And what this will do is basically tell you the parts per million that's in the water. So what it's gonna measure is whether or not the water is ideal. So it basically has like what do I call that? Like a parameter for if the water is ideal drinking water or not. That should be at a 0. And then if you have something that's like a carbon filter from Mountain Springs, it has a number for that. Hard water, it has a number for that. And then it has anything over 100 is kind of like where we get into like is questionable, okay? So marginally acceptable if it's 200 or 300 is what average tap water is. High tap or mineral springs is 400, and then 500 is the EPA's max contaminant level. So I'm just curious to see like these different kinds of waters. I'm gonna do it from the tap. I'm gonna do it from the fridge, because you know technically the fridge has a filter on it, and then I'm gonna do it from the spring water that I've got here. So I've never used one of these, so I don't know, y'all gonna bear with me, we're gonna learn something together. And I don't know what TDS stands for. Come on, buddy, come on, get a treat. Come on. Come on, Papa Don. You can come on, come straight down. Come on. Come on. Come on, you want a snack? Can you get treats? Come on. Yeah, come on. Good. Come on. Oh, asshole. Come on. Come on, Papa. Come on. Yep, come on. Good, handsome. Come on. Leave that. Come on. Come on, get your treat. These fucking stairs, dude. Come on. He's just like standing on these stairs. Come on. Okay, good boy. Okay, great. Not a bastard. How do moms do it with kids? Did I accidentally say it? So anyway, so it came with this like, and this shit's made in China, so there we go. So this device measures how safe the water is drinking. It's expensive. It's like $12. But yes, that is what it's supposed to do. And just so that you know, it has like a, I hope it doesn't need batteries because it feels pretty light. No? Oh no, okay, doesn't need batteries. So it has that measurement on the back. So on the back, again, it's the same thing that I read to you. And it just is basically measuring out the purity of the water. So I'm excited to see what we get. So I'm gonna do the water straight from the tap in this little mason. Okay, straight from the tap. I'm gonna do the water from the fridge in this cup, and all my glasses look different. Okay, so we got tap, or excuse me, we got from the fridge, we've got tap, and then I'm gonna do my spring water. And I don't know like what any of this is gonna say or tell me, right? And I'm gonna end up drinking that, so. Okay, so I'm assuming it doesn't have any directions. There's no directions. Okay, hold on. Well, it's in Chinese, and last time I checked, I don't know how to read fucking Chinese, so this might even be Japanese. Y'all, this shit's literally made, oh, okay, here. So it's used to test the value of the water and electrical conductivity of the water to determine the purity, with both test water temperature and environmental temperature. Oh my God. This is like not in. Oh, okay, I see. It attests the water temperature, Celsius or Fahrenheit, and then it attests like in the parts per million of the water purity. All right, so we got Celsius, Fahrenheit. It's got the on and off switch. It'll power off on its own. Okay, function mode, clear, auto test, insert the water. I gotta read the directions. Probably should have done this before I opened it. Y'all can hold on. Y'all, these aren't like real glasses. They're blue blacking glasses. They're the Lady Boss glasses. Black light function. Okay, remove the protective cap, press the on off, immerse the meter into the water, no more than 4 centimeters. Steering the meter, waiting until it displays and stabilizes. Once the readout is stabilized, the TDS value is always highly affected by the temperature. You guys, this English is awful. What calories, reasons to press the home button, save the reading. After usage, shake off water from your meter, wipe with a tissue, continue. Okay, whatever, blah. All right, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I do have a degree in biology. So let's get down here. so you guys can see. Okay, so I've got my tap water. It's like a science project. I got my tap water, I've got my fridge water, and I've got my, no Ralphie, no. And I've got my spring water, which is just at room temperature. No, just relax, or stay up here. Okay, you stay. Mom and it easy. Okay, anyway. So let's get this party started. So it's just got these two little prongs. Can you guys see? There's two little prongs in there. So here is the tap water. Y'all. I don't know at like what point it stabilizes. So let me show you what was happening when I was turning it. Okay, ready? Oh, it was turning red. Okay, so there. I don't understand like why it's, hold on. I don't understand like why sometimes it's red. It says to, waiting until it stabilizes. It automatically varies. Let's read out stable. The TS. Okay, I don't know. So if I stare this around, it's reading like 135, 130, 131. Okay, so we'll just say like 111. Like you guys literally are watching that like freaking turn red, right? So at 111, that is considered hard water, not ideal drinking water. It should be 0 to be ideal drinking water. Okay, so that's from the tap. Like we kind of know that we shouldn't be drinking from the tap anyway, right? So let's see what the fridge water does, because the fridge water technically has a filter on it. Clear. Okay, so you see it starts off green, okay, because it's a 0. Oh, great. So the fridge water is like fucking worse. Okay, so wait a minute. I don't understand like why it is going from whatever. All right, so whatever. Y'all saw that shit stayed red. 124. Okay? That's the fridge water. It's worse. The fridge water is worse than the freaking tap. All right, so then I've got my, so it was 111, 124. I'll write this down. Okay, and then let's see what the spring water measures. Does anybody have any input on any of this? For y'all, those of you guys watching my crazy ass? Okay, spring water. It's all red, guys. Okay. 196. So at 196, yeah, Mountain Springs should be 50 or less. So all this water is fucking trash. Oh, here, let me see. Yeah, it says to stir it. Yeah, it says, the directions say, staring the meter, waiting until the display stabilizes. Once the readout is, it literally is made in China. It doesn't fucking make any sense. Like if I dip it in here, let's see. So it's just holding at 192. You guys see that? So now technically, all this water is marginally acceptable. So we just have to think about marginally acceptable. Are we mixing baby formula with these things? Are we using tap water? I don't have bottled water to show you guys, but that would be like another thing to kind of think about. So I didn't even stir it, okay? And you guys saw it just held 192, okay? So that's the spring water. I'll go back and I'll do it for this. Again, and it starts green off, right? Red AF. And it's like, the stabilizing is it climbing, guys. Okay? It's not supposed to be red. So the tap water, or the water from the sink, is like stabilizing at 116. Okay? So here, I'll do the other. So the fucking, the water that I spent $20 on is worse. No, actually tap water is the worst. This is 136. Okay? You guys see, I'm not calling bullshit. This is like, for real, all these readings are red. Like, none of them are 0. 0 is your ideal drinking water. And none of these flash 0. The only time this thing flashes 0 is when it's right here. So technically, any water that we're drinking should be coming up in this green. None of it came up in the green. You guys all witnessed and watched that. So I just think, like, super scary. And it's not to, like, I mean, like, it's just awareness. I think that that's really just where I'm at, is like awareness with these things. And just remembering, like, you guys, our skin is our largest organ. So if you don't have some sort of like filtration or something on your water, on your shower head, Berkey, I tagged them. They do have a shower like in between, like something that will filter the water in your shower. Because remember, your skin is porous. So again, access to heavy metals, things like that, on top of what we're walking around in every single day. So is it because, like, the fact that, like, there's more pollution, all these things, that just that we're sicker? And I think if we can, like, do the best that we can to be mindful of what is going in, food included, you know, alcohol included, all these things, like, just being mindful of what's going in, because guys, there's so many things, like, externally that we just don't have control over. So my mind is kind of blown. I don't know if your mind is kind of blown on a Tuesday, but there's your Health Tip Tuesday, is to just know what is in the water that you're drinking. I don't buy bottled water, so I've got no bottled water to share with you guys, but clearly I probably safe to say, with the spring water, even the fact that it is in a like glass bottle and all those things, it's probably still, I don't even know. You know, so again, the ideal drinking water is 0. And it says ideal drinking water, and it's like distilled water, I guess, I'm assuming deionized water, and then reverse osmosis. Those are your, like, 0s, okay? Now, granted, none of these waters were those, right? Like, I don't have any pure water, which I knew. But even so, guys, that spring water, I don't know if this is a mineral spring or a mountain spring, so then you kind of go down that whole rabbit hole. Okay, so this is a mountain spring water. Okay, so there we go. So mountain spring water can go up to 400 for it to be an acceptable level. So just we'll stick that back in there. Okay, so this is 195. So based off of what this is the cleanest water for me to be drinking. And you guys can see, it's not moving. It stays right there. So that's the stabilizing of the water. And the other thing just to remember, you know, I don't know that we even really think about this, but if you're eating ice out of your ice machine, like, you gotta, like, have it in the, what do you call that? an ice tray, technically, right? With your clean, pure water source. But then what do we run into? Most ice trays are plastic. Do they make them in glass? Somebody let me know. I'll go buy one. But, you know, I just think, like, again, it's just about being mindful, being proactive where you can. I'm not here to, like, scare anybody, but just here to share, like, the things I learn, I stumble upon, because maybe this information is useful to you. Or maybe you do have children that have, you know, the attention deficits and things like that going on. And it's like, is it something as simple as the water that we're bathing in, or, you know, ingesting that we're mixing with whatever it is that kids eat, or the water that you're cooking with, or whatever that is? That would be kind of something interesting to do too, would be to look at like boiling water to see if when you boil it, if it makes it more effective. So maybe I'll do that the next time that I have my Berkey filter, which I'm super excited to get. It definitely was 100% an investment. I think it was like $400, went swoop, right on a credit card, didn't even care. But it just was like one of those things. I was just feeling like, oh my gosh, I hadn't been drinking water, because I was like feeling like, oh my God, I don't even know what's in this water that I am drinking. So my hands are on. Now again, based off of this, all the water technically is acceptable drinking water, right? None of it was over the 200 to 300 threshold, but I think it's just ironic or interesting to know that, like, wouldn't you want the water that you're drinking from coming out of your fridge or like your tap or whatever that is to be as pure as possible? I think so. So that's what I got for y'all. It's my mission to empower you to embrace living your life real, raw, and free AF. I'll see y'all later.